Hey Internet, welcome back. This is week 2 of these videos. Today we're going to talk about this little guy. Oh, yeah, I'm just going to punch the mic. Good start. Alright, let's go again.
Alright, going again.
And today we're talking about this little guy. You might have heard of him. It's from a company called Gibson. If you have one of these guitars, or one of their conglomerates, Epiphone, and you've got a Les Paul, then we're going to talk about that too. So if you've got a Les Paul that is having tuning stability issues, then you will want to replace the nut. That's going to be the most affordable, fastest thing, and will arguably have the most effect on your tuning stability. So if you have a Gibson, Les Paul, or SG, or pretty much any Gibson actually, now that I think about it. Any 6-string guitar Gibson. So if you look at the back of the headstock, there'll be a serial number right on the top here, and there'll be a link in the description to a Gibson serial number decoder thing, and you can see what year, what month, and likely what factory your Gibson was made in. If it was made before 2014, you'll want to go for the 6010. That one will be a pre-slotted, pretty much drop-in replacement for a pre-2014 Gibson. So that'll be impregnated with Teflon, so it's permanently lubricated, so the strings won't bind in the nut slots or anything like that. It's pre-slotted, so you don't have to do any slotting or filing or anything like that. You might have to sand the bottom and the sides of the nuts just to get the perfect fit in the slots, but other than that, should be a drop-in replacement. Now, if it was made after or in 2014, then you want to go for the PQL 6011. And that one will be the exact same thing. In 2014, they changed a little bit of the specs and the measurements of the nut slot because reasons. And those come in white or black, so PQL or PT. Those will be the two different ones. Exact same thing, both impregnated with Teflon, just different colors. And if you're wanting to add a little more sustain, or if you're having any issues with string breakage on your Les Paul, then you'll want to upgrade to one of our Resimax bridges. We make them in either alloy saddles, or like these are the string saver saddles. Actually, these are technically our Ghost saddles, but they're made out of the same material. These ones just have a piezo crystal in them. So if you're wanting a realistic acoustic sound or go into the world of MIDI, we also have options for that. The string saver saddles are the same material essentially as our Tusk XL nuts, so it's our Tusk material, and it's impregnated with Teflon, so it's very resonant, very harmonically rich, and also permanently lubricated, and you will just stop breaking strings. The Resimax bridge is a little concoction of different alloys that is very lightweight and very resonant, so you'll get a lot more volume and sustain when going to one of our bridges. We also make a tailpiece, so the same thing, very lightweight, so you'll just get a lot more of that vibration transfer directly to the body. And they both have a magnetic locking system, so when the guitar isn't strung up, they won't fall off, and you don't have to use an Allen key that you're just going to lose and then, you know, find it in a couch 12 months later and be like, what the hell is this, and then throw it out, or your dog eats it or whatever. None of that'll happen. The alloy saddles are going to retain that bite and harshness of a metal saddle, and the string saver saddles, while combating string breakage, will have a more even and well-rounded frequency response. And for even more tuning stability, we do make drop-in replacement tuners as well. Most of the tuners that are going to be on Gibsons are going to be either Clusion Deluxe or Clusion, or the Gibson Deluxe, or Grovers. And all of our tuners come with 4 different sets of mounting plates in the brushed aluminum material for free in the box. So you don't have to do any drilling or filling or Swiss cheesing in your headstock to get them on there. These ones used to have Grovers, as you can see, and the 90-degree screw plate came in the box and then was installed on there. These ones we've opted for the gold upgraded premium plates because we fancy now. So the tuners will set you back around $110 for the locking and around $80 to $90 for the non-locking. The nut will be about $13, and the bridges are about $100 depending on what finish you're wanting. And those are pretty much all the parts that you would need for a Gibson Les Paul made before or after 2014. Now, for the Epiphone version, the same kind of rules apply to the nut, so it's a pre and post 2014. So it'll be the 6060 if it was made before 2014, and 6061 if it was made after 2014. Same thing goes for the tuners as well. They will have different plates that are in there, and most of them will be Grovers or Clusion Deluxe style ones, or an offset screw. These ones had a less common 2 screws on each corner, but we've got a set of plates that are in there. As for the bridge, there are actually a few, and I'm glad I brought this one because there are a few Gibsons that use a wraparound bridge. So it's slightly different than a Tune-O-Matic, and on our website you'll notice we have metric and imperial wraparound bridges. That's because we have different posts for the wraparound bridges. So if your guitar was was made in the USA, you'll want the Imperial Post version. So if it's a Gibson, you'll want the Imperial ones. And if it was made literally anywhere else, you'll want the metric ones. So those are just the thread designation. And yeah, if it's an import or not USA guitar, they will almost certainly be the metric version. And for Epiphones, they also use a different post size. As I mentioned before, they use the 6mm posts. So any of the 8863 bridges will be a drop-in replacement for that, as opposed to the Gibson one, which will be an 8843 bridge. So just the difference in size of the post holes, 4mm versus 6mm. And for the tailpiece as well, for the Gibson ones or USA made guitars, you'll want the Imperial Post version. And for guitars made anywhere else in the world, they will be the metric version. And this is one of our Sonic 1 one-piece wraparound bridges, which are pre-intonated, so they're very small, very lightweight, and pretty affordable at around $50. These also have the magnetic locking system, so when the guitar isn't strung up, it's not going to fall off and damage either the bridge or the finish on the guitar, or your dog who's just doing donuts underneath your feet. Yeah, those are pretty much all the parts that you need for your Epiphone. So, to recap, if you have a Gibson and you're wanting to replace a nut, 6010 before 2014, or 6011 if it was made in or after 2014. For the tuners, any of our 3x3 tuners will come with everything you need. For the bridge, any of the 8843 bridges, so the 4mm post bridges, will be what you want to put on a Gibson. And for the tailpiece, the 8893 with Imperial threads. And for Epiphones, it'll be a 6mm bridge, so the 8863. And if it has a wraparound, whether it be Gibson or Epiphone, so on like a Les Paul Junior or SG Junior or something like that, you'll want any of the 8593 or 8595 wraparound bridges. The two different ones we make is the Sonic one, so the one-piece, very lightweight, small, affordable wraparound bridge, or the intonatable one, the 8595, both of which are very lightweight, very resonant, and also have the magnetic locking system, and they're super easy to string up. And if it's an Epiphone, you'll need the metric posts, and if it's a Gibson, you'll need the Imperial posts. Same thing goes for the tailpieces, the 8593s. Those ones are the things that you need for all those guitars that have posts and things. So, all those same things apply to Les Pauls, SGs, Dots, 335s. The only weird thing with tuners sometimes is on Explorers, they use a 6-in-line headstock instead of the 3x3 headstock. But if you look at it with your eyeballs, you can tell the difference. So yeah, those are all the things that you need on a Gibson. If you have any questions, leave them right down below. If you have a guitar that you want to know what you need, also put that down below. All the parts and products that we discussed have been on the screen or are in the description, and then you can click on the button and then buy them and put them on your guitar. And yeah, that's it for this week. See you next week. Party hard. Stay safe. Don't go outside. Don't talk to people. Except don't party. Party safely and just stay at home and just party. Just be happy you're alive and keep it that way. Okay, bye.